or two ago, I left a passing comment on another content creator's YouTube video where I said 2025 millionaires gather here, and the video that I left this comment on was pretty much talking about how to make the following year, which is this year, the best year possible. The video was talking about how to make millions. The video was talking about how to disappear and come back a better person. And the point is that that video received or has nearly 2 million views, and the comment that I left on the video has 10,000 reactions, and in response to my comment there's nearly just over 500 responses. Whilst the video itself was positive and inspiring, what stuck with me the most were the negative responses to my comment. And some of the comments and statements were along the line of, you are delusional, you are never going to become a millionaire, you're never going to get there. It was the same, it was a classic you can't make it type of comment. And I'm going to get some screenshot and pop in the screen somewhere. But here's the thing, I'm somebody that prides himself on being thick-skinned, and I never thought comments like those, especially from strangers, would ever get to me. But they did. But not in a way where it's affecting me in my day-to-day life, and not in a way that I'm losing sleep every night. It's that it was affecting me in such a way that it was motivating me in a way that I've never felt in years. I'm the kind of person where if you said Bola, you're never going to learn this, or you're never going to achieve this, I'm going to want to learn and achieve this, especially if it's positive. I'm going to want to learn and achieve wherever it is you think I can't learn or do. And that's where the energy, the drive, and my goals for this is coming from, which is also what I want to talk about in this video. Before I do go into the details of the goals that I've set for myself this year, I do want to point out that the goals that I've set for myself this year, to me, are on a whole different level. I've never been there before. It feels like I'm entering an uncharted area where I now need to level up everything about me, spiritually, mentally, physically, and just become strong. I also feel like with the goals that I've set for myself this year, it would demand a different personality from myself. There'll be a ton of learning that I need to do, a lot of sacrifices that I need to do, and I feel like the goals that I've set for myself this year would demand a different mindset, a different way of thinking, and also a different approach. I also anticipate a lot of self-discovery, as I feel like it will allow me to really step out of my comfort zone and really allow me to face my discomfort, and by extension allow me to grow. And to make matters a little bit more intense, I'm putting my goals out publicly simply because I want to actually document that journey, and by extension me putting my goals out publicly would also hold me accountable. So the plan is to briefly talk about the goals that I've set for myself, and I said briefly because like I said, the goals that I've set for myself this year are very new to me. I don't have a history of these goals apart from one of them. Briefly is me suggesting that I need to learn on the go. Talk about the goals I'm going to set for myself this year, and then I'll wrap up the video by talking about the protocols and the systems around how I plan to make sure that I'm not distracted and make sure I'm focused for the rest of the 12 months. But yeah, let's get into the video. Goal number one for me this year is to embark on a project or a journey with the aim of making £1 million. Now, I'm not naive, I'm also not silly. The idea of making £1 million isn't impossible, but when you are not on track to making £1 million, then the idea of making £1 million can seem a little bit out of reach. So for me, it's no longer about making £1 million and the end reward. It's about the growth, the challenge, and all that I'm going to learn that really excites me. Because over the last 2 months, I have been thinking about this goal, and I kind of didn't know how to achieve it or where to start from. But the more I think about who I'll become in the process and what I can gain from that experience, the more it excites me to embark on this goal. Now, don't get me wrong, if I do end up making £1 million, that's just the reward of my hard work that I've put in. But I'm also being very realistic, because like I said earlier on, it's not like I have something that I've been working on and it's now forecasting for me to make £1 million. I'm not in that shoe. So I need to be a bit more realistic with my goal and how to approach this goal. And also, this is coming from the fact that a bunch of YouTubers said I'm never going to become a millionaire and it's just impossible for me to do. And I thought to myself, okay, if that's the case, let me be Jesus for a year and let me turn water to wine. And that's where this is coming from. Because if you were to ask me right now, what project am I going to work on? I don't know. Do I know my starting point? I don't know. Do I know how I'm going to achieve £1 million? I don't know. If anything, I'm starting from scratch. All that I have and I'm starting with is a pen, a notebook, and Notion, which will help me with productivity and documentation. And I have £300 to my name, which I'm going to pretty much use to invest into myself. And what that looks like is me spending money on courses, books, high level skills, or maybe even like get into certain environments to obviously immerse myself into different thinking groups. And lastly is my experience. So I have a background in product design and information systems, which I'm also going to leverage some of the lessons and skills that I've learned from those degrees into this journey as well. Lastly, just to really be resourceful and just rely on some of my life experiences. I was thinking about a memory of mine which happened a few years ago during like the crypto bull run, where one of my friends pretty much said, with all that you know now, Bola, you could have become a millionaire. Now I come from the fact that I happen to just know a lot. I'm someone that's always researching. I'm always on my laptop, and I never like to take action. I never pursue something. I never like put myself forward to do something before it's too late. Like for example, with cryptocurrency, there are a lot of coins that have obviously become very high valuable that I could have really invested in at a very young age, but I didn't do it because I just didn't want to. Another example is just last year there was an event that somebody that I know hosted, and this person basically said to me that the conversation that me and this person had is what basically fueled that event, and essentially he said I put a voice to things. But that's the kind of things that I guess it's given me the confidence to really embark on this goal, because I do have people that do give me feedback and it's positive, it's nothing negative. So I do want to I do feel like I have a lot of skills and abilities that I want to really, I'm itching to use, and I want to apply into a tangible idea or a project or something. So that's kind of what it is that I'm really embarking. If there is one thing I'm looking forward to that I think is positive of me embarking on such a goal, is the skills that would come out of this. I feel like I will learn a lot about leadership. I'll learn about business, finance. I'll be commercially aware, and I feel like I'll also be a lot more resourceful as well. It would force me to think above my current state of thinking. It will force me to think bigger than myself, and I feel like to achieve a bigger goal or see a different result, you need to do things differently. So it will force me to do things differently over the next few. On the negative side, I am aware of the challenges that I'm going to face. I see myself absorbing a lot of like setbacks and doubts, and but that's the point of this challenge, of this goal, to really face those things. I feel like sometimes I get comfortable with what I know, and sometimes it's okay to just put yourself out there to a different task that's not quite familiar to yourself, or to just into a different world. I also see myself learning about other people's field that I've never been into. So I'm very open with this goal. I don't have a niche. I don't have anything I'm working on. So I'm very open to this goal and to whatever project I decide to work on. But that's goal number one for me, which is to embark on a journey or a project with the aim of making £1 million. And I look forward to who I would become, the journey, and I feel like it would have a net positive, not just on my life, but also to my career outside of YouTube. Goal number two is not coming from me leaving a comment on someone's YouTube channel, but it is coming from the intention of growth. I feel like with my small achievement of me reaching 100 plus subscribers last year, I want to focus I want to focus on growth on my channel. I really want to grow my channel. I really want to get to a big numbers. Initially, my goal this year was to get to 500 subscribers. But thinking about how big my first goal is, I thought to myself, let me double down on on the growth of my channel. And the first number that came to mind was 10,000 subscribers, which this goal is actually a lot more scarier than my first one, because with the first goal, there's no deadline. With this goal, there's a deadline. But very similar to the first goal, where I'm looking forward to the person that I'll become in the process, it's also the same approach or the same logic. It's also the same reasoning that I'm also giving to this goal as well. I think it's also come from the fact of what's the point of setting a goal that you're going to reach. You might as well set a goal that's really big and start small. And the goal is so big that it makes something of you, and it would surpass the initial goal of 500, which in my case, if I'm going to get to 10k subs, then I might as well, become better and stronger in the process and just pass the 500 subs anyways. But again, similar to the first goal of who I'm going to become in the process, I'm also looking forward to who I'm going to become. I feel like if I, get into 10k subs, for me is an indicator that the people that are subscribing to my channel are willing to give me a chance, and also willing to I guess they will enjoy my content, and there's some sort of value that someone's taking from it. And I think I said something similar in my last video. You just never know who you're inspiring. And I'm not here to inspire nobody. I'm just here to document my life. But the point is that reaching 10k subs is an indicator to me that I am doing okay and somebody is taking me seriously. Not that currently no one is, but I do feel like if you have that big number, and also to be completely honest, there was also like a level of respect that you get as well when you have like when your channel is in those numbers rather than the 500 and the 200. Very similar to my first goal, reaching 10k subs will require a different person, a different mindset, a different approach, and a different way of approaching things. Some of the things that I forecast would potentially come out of probably going for like a 10k subs and then a 5k subs as a goal is potential a collaboration with other YouTubers, learning about other niches, whatever the word is. The one thing I never actually mentioned is that when you start, well, personally, when you like start a YouTube channel and you're consistent with it, you also become a better writer. You become like a director of your video. You think of a concept and you create it and then you put it to life. There's something about that I'm still tapping into, and I want to really expand on that next year or this year. But yeah, those are the things that I see for myself this year, where I become a better writer, a better speaker, a better director of my own YouTube video. And I feel like if I have 10k subs, or if I'm working towards 10k subs, then it gives me something to do. It stretches me, and I won't be bored of trying to create the same content, because I do ask feedback from like 1 or 2 people that are really good at with social media. But yeah, that's the goal for this year with my YouTube channel. I'm focused on growth, and I want to get to 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Another big goal, but let's do it. So this does mean that I may have to change my approach with my videos. I may have to, something I've been thinking about lately is to stop editing any of my videos and maybe just cut out like the boring bits and the filler words a little bit, and then put the video out there. But the idea is that I want to focus more on like quantity, so that quality then comes in naturally, because the more you talk, the more you put out content, the better you become, rather than focus on like making a masterpiece and putting it out there. I want to focus more on like the quantity of video, get my name out there, get my videos out there, be visible to people, and then get feedback. And that feedback is like the 10k. I feel like everything that I've worked on in the last 12 months has led me here. And goal number 3, which is to complete a 10k run by the end of the year, is a testament to my ongoing commitment to health and fitness. And the idea behind this goal is to pretty much maintain the habit and to prioritize my health like I did last year. The 10k run is just, I guess, the achievement of what I want to do. But for me to do that, I need to make sure I prepare for that, and then preparing for that means then I have to make sure that I'm in a healthy state. So the idea is that I'm still prioritizing my health behind the scene, but I'll be talking less about it. But the output is the 10k run. So it's no longer about the run itself, it's about what the run actually represents. It's about, for me anyways, it's about progression from last year. Some of you may be aware I had an injury, and it's about progression, like I just said, perseverance, and it's about just having a healthy lifestyle. Now, like I said earlier on, the goals that I've set for myself this year are, to me, on a whole different level. These are goals that will stretch me physically, spiritually, financially, mentally, across all areas of my life. And I also want to put it out there that I don't have a specific approach or method behind how I'm going to achieve this goal. So it will require a ton of learning and a ton of changing attitude. And hence why I want to talk about the protocols that I've set for myself. And the idea behind my protocol is essentially, it is to eliminate distraction and to make sure that I'm focused every single day. You can think of this as like a highest yielding activity to make sure that I'm moving the needle every single day. Number 1 is that I'm approaching this year with a 90-10 split, where 90% of my time will be dedicated to hard work, and then 10% will be dedicated to fun and also to recharge myself. The 10% specifically is to make sure that a part of my life isn't underserved. So family, friends, relationships, 1 or 2 holidays here and there, that is still underserved. And then the remaining time is then dedicated to like hard work. Like I said, I do have some goals, and it does require a different approach. I think on a day-to-day basis, or every year, I do tend to approach my year maybe 70-10, 60-40, but this is the first time I'm really saying what the split is, and I'm now like dedicating like 40 days. I think it's 40 days of this year just for like activities and time offs and holiday and friends and birthdays and all that kind of stuff, and girlfriend and all that kind of stuff, and the remaining 90% is just dedicated to work. So that's my approach, and the idea is that I I have time to work and I have time to have fun. And also, like I said, family, girlfriend, friendship, relationship, those things are not underserved. They still get it. They still get my time. The reason why that 10% is just 10% and it's not like a bigger percentage is because other people have their lives as well. Everyone else is working. Some people have kids, all that kind of stuff. So 90% right now for me, it feels right. So that's my approach this year, which I kind of already started already. For my last video that you guys saw, that was part of the 10%. And now going forward, I'm not, I am, all I have right now is to work. And if I do take time off, I'll talk about it. But until then, I'm literally just working for the next few days, for the next few months. In the 90%, the way I'm approaching the next 6 months, off the back of like my goal number one is that I am going to spend the first 2 months, so January and February, which I've already started doing, to focus on research and collecting data. And month number 3 will be to identify a niche and like a potential problem that I would like to solve. And then month number 4 and 5, I see myself either, starting to experiment and network or working with a mentor, which I kind of already have as well, but he's not aware of this goals at the moment until I speak to him about it. But the idea is that month number 4, I'm now like fully working on something. I have a problem that I'm solving and I'm trying to like maybe break it down and trying to like define like a roadmap for it. And month number 6 is the month where I really see myself really embarking on whatever projects I really want to work on. The reason why I don't have a roadmap for the second half of the year is because I can only see the first half of the year in terms of like my goal. I don't know what I'm working on, so I need to first of all focus on the first half and then later on focus on the second half. And I feel like whatever outcome I yield from the first half will determine what my next step is for the second half. That's pretty much what my approach is, that I'm approaching the year with a 90% 10% mindset split, where 90% will be dedicated to work and then 10% will be dedicated to fun. And then obviously the 6 months has been broken down. Now, if you notice, going back to goal number 1, I don't have a date or a timeline for when I want to achieve £1 million. And the reason for that is because it's not a race. I feel like such a goal that's so big needs time, needs dedication, and needs one is to be careful with approaching those goals. Needs time and dedication. That's kind of what I'm doing this year, where I'm just dedicating a lot of my time towards that goal. So protocol number 2 is I am doing a 75 hard from the start of February. Now I did say 75. I'm actually doing more than 75 days, but for context, I stumbled upon 75 hard by accident first, back in 2019, where I wanted to achieve a goal, and I was pretty much doing the exact same thing every single day until I achieved the goal. And I knew what 75 hard was in 2021, just after COVID. So when I stumbled upon 75 hard, I just had my own little protocol that I was sticking with, which I've kind of written down here, and I've added some more to it. So that's what I want to discuss with you guys. So my 75 hard consists of 7 things that I want to stick with. 1 is to read 1 hour a day minimum every single day. 2nd is to be in the gym twice a week. Now, this does not stop me from exercising at home or going to the gym during the week if I can, but my default pattern is to be in the gym twice a week, I think on the weekend for now. Number 3 is to eliminate all sorts of mainstream music. Obviously, if there are music on YouTube where I need to skip, or on TikTok, then obviously it's not going to kill me, but dedicating my time to listen to music is a no-go. I'm going to replace that with like educational content. Number 4 is to reduce my phone screen time. At the moment, I think it's on the ropes. I'm going to put a screenshot. I'm going to check and I'll put a screenshot. But my screen time at the moment is literally on the ropes. So I need to reduce that to about 3 hours a day, where 1 hour is dedicated to reading and then 2 hours is dedicated to research using my phone. Number 5 is praying every single day. Now, do I want to go into details here? I feel like with any goals anyways, no matter how big or small the goals are, one is to always have a divine source or guideline that they are always in communication with. And I feel like praying, for me anyways, is a way of, sprinkling some positivity on my goals and also asking for that direction. But anyways, that's number 5. Protocol number 6 is to journal 10 minutes every single day. whether it's in the morning or before bedtime, just to summarize or debrief my day on how things have gone, or what I plan to achieve in the following, what I plan to achieve that day. And number 7, which is a different concept that I've learned recently, and I can't find who I learned it from. But essentially, 18 minutes a day, I should dedicate that time to my goals. And this is for the days where I don't feel like working on my goals, or this is for the days where I'm procrastinating. But essentially, 18 minutes is a time that I should dedicate to my goal every single day to get better by 1%. I forgot where I heard that concept from, but I'm applying it. I don't really know what it is, but I'm applying it. And those are my 2 approach. And the idea about this approach is that it would keep me in check over the next 6 months. It would also allow me to eliminate any distractions, any unplanned activity that would distract me. Somebody said the prescription for extraordinary results is knowing what matters to you, and by taking a daily dose of action would get you the result. I think that's how it goes. But that's the idea behind my protocols, is taking a set of actions that would move the needles every single day to get me the result that I want. And that's pretty much my protocols. But like I said, this video is pretty much to talk about the goals that I've set for myself, but the value would really come from the documentation going forward, which I'm going to start from today going forward. But I wanted to put this out there because to start me off. If anyone's wondering why I'm putting it out now, it's because pretty much February I had loads of commitments, things to abide with, and I didn't want to start the goal and then feel distracted. And I think I may have said it, but I didn't want to, be with people or attend people's birthdays and be in church but thinking about making £1 million, which can happen. But I want to make sure that if I'm with somebody, then I'm with somebody, or if I'm at people's birthdays or dinner parties, then I'm there. And then if I'm working on myself, then I'm working on myself. That's the idea behind me just not embarking on the goals at the start of January, but I'm fully now committed and embarking on those goals from February going forward. And that's pretty much it. So those are my goals and my protocols, and I'm going to leave this here. If you do get to this part of the video, please kindly subscribe, like the video, and I also wish you guys the best of luck in your goals, and I hope this also inspires you guys to double down on your goals and focus and aim for something big, because a bunch of YouTubers have turned them into a little bit of a beast. But I'm going to leave this here, so I will see you guys in the next video.